that movie. It was scary.
Well, the first one was, but the rest sucked.
Everybody knows horror sequels are terrible, right? Wrong. Today, I'm going to be looking at one of these overlooked and often maligned pieces of cinema history to see the good and the bad, to find the diamonds in the rough. My name is Horrorman Mike, and this is Sequels Don't Suck. Hello, horror freaks, and welcome back to Sequels Don't Suck. For centuries, the human race has always created effigies of ourselves. From statues, sculptures, dolls, and mannequins, we as a species have always created art that represents ourselves. And this naturally progressed into the idea of what would happen if these creations came to life. Legendary examples of this would be the Golem of Prague or the Terracotta Army. Contemporary media sees this idea played out in many different ways, from the 1987 rom-com Mannequin to the 2005 independent short film Still Life. From Pinocchio to Slappy the Ventriloquist Dummy from Goosebumps. From 1964's Devil Doll to 1989's Puppet Master. And even more recent years have given us the examples of Megan and Annabelle. Yes, all of these examples play on the same idea of what if human-shaped objects came to life. Most of them play on the idea that they would do so with violent intentions. Out of all the killer dolls put to film throughout history, and there have been a lot, one name sticks out as king of the killer dolls. Of course, that is Chucky, the good guy, which spawned a whole franchise known as Child's Play and leads us to today's sequel, Child's Play 2.
Did you miss me, Andy? I sure missed you.
Before we properly discuss Child's Play 2, though, let's look at its predecessor. Child's Play was produced by United Artists and released by MGM Studios on November 9th, 1988. The plot, roughly, is that a serial killer known as Charles Lee Ray, the Lakeshore Strangler, is fatally shot by police while hiding in a toy store. Using his last minutes alive, the killer uses a voodoo ritual to transfer his soul out of his dying human body and into a toy called the Good Guy. Good Guys are the copyright-safe knockoff of the My Buddy toys, if you ever grew up in the 80s and remember these guys. In order to become human again, Charles, or Chucky as he's nicknamed, has to perform the ritual again on the first person he revealed his identity to, which happens to be a 6-year-old boy named Andy. Child's Play was directed by Tom Holland and stars Alex Vincent as Andy Barclay and Brad Dourif as Charles Lee Ray and the voice of Chucky. The amazing special effects were done by Kevin Yeager, who would only outdo himself in the sequel, as we will see. With a budget of about $9 million, it grossed over $33 million in the United States and over $44 million worldwide. Child's Play was a hit, and a sequel was greenlit.
Amazing, isn't it?
Child's Play 2 would be directed by John LaFia, who was a writer for the first Child's Play. And oddly enough, director John LaFia would also direct the video game Corpse Killer, which was one of my favorite Sega CD games growing up. And I did not know that until doing this review. With a budget of $13 million, Child's Play 2 would gross over $28 million in the US and Canada and over $35 million worldwide, making it a very successful sequel. But enough with the numbers, let's see what makes this movie such a good follow-up. Alex Vincent reprises his role as Andy, who is now 8 years old. His mom, who corroborated Andy's story of the first film to the police, has been institutionalized, and Andy himself has been placed into a foster home. He has fairly kind foster parents. Okay, you know what? The mom is nice, the dad is kind of a dick. But they try to make him feel welcome, although they have their own good guy doll named Tommy hanging around in the house. Poor taste, but you know what, it works as a plot device later, so yeah, what the hell, let's just run with it. Andy also has this cool blonde punk rock-ish foster sister named Kyle. She's the only person that believes Andy once the shit actually starts hitting the fan. Meanwhile, Chucky is rebuilt from the body of the original doll, which is kind of weird. Like, a corporation hears of a robot doll that malfunctions, and rather than have it destroyed, they have it rebuilt. Like, why? You guys have a factory where you literally just make them on an assembly line. Why would you need to rebuild from the original doll frame? I don't know. But anyways, for plot reasons, Chucky's body is restored, and of course, the soul of Charles Lee Ray is still inside. Chucky finds out where Andy lives and hijacks a ride to the residence. He takes out the household good guy, Tommy, and replaces him to get closer to Andy.
Eat dirt, Tommy.
After a lot of cat and mouse, missed chances, and a few fatalities, Kyle and Andy end up being chased by Chucky into a good guy doll factory, which is a really cool set piece for the film's finale. Chucky finally manages to perform the soul swapping ritual on Andy, but it's too late.
You little shit, do you know what you've done? It's too late. I've spent too much time in this body. I'm fucking trapped in here!
Well, bad news for Andy, Chucky doesn't need you alive anymore. There's even more savage cat and mouse games in the factory, with Chucky being mutilated over several rounds of combat.
I hate kids.
Andy and Kyle eventually dismember Chucky, melt him, and blow his head up. Chucky's reign of terror is over for now, of course, until Child's Play 3. I feel like the puppet work and special effects in Child's Play 2 are even better than the first one. Chucky really has some frightening, imposing looks here. Along with Brad Dourif's voiceover, Chucky is as savagely violent as ever.
Got you now, Andy. And you know what I'm gonna do to you? I'm gonna cut off your legs, too!
Kevin Yeager headed a crew of 9 people to animate Chucky, meaning that whenever he's on screen, there are 9 people working off camera in sync to bring him to life. Yeager's team brought Chucky to life with a servo motor doll and 2 cable-controlled ones. 3 dolls with 9 puppeteers means that Chucky has a full range of motion from his feet up to his eyebrows and can move and speak as fluidly as ever before. I learned doing this review that when Chucky is speaking in this movie, he's actually filmed at 18 frames per second instead of 24, so that when the film is sped up to 24 frames per second, his lip movements and pronunciation are as fluid as they can be.
How's it hanging, Phil?
Overall, Child's Play 2 is an extremely worthy sequel. I might actually have more fun watching this one than its predecessor, which is a little more serious in tone, but they're still both really fun and have a toe in both serious horror but also campy horror, just with the premise alone. Both films are solid, really good horror outings, so if it's been a while since you've seen Child's Play 2, or if you've never seen it, I urge you to give it a watch. As far as sequels go, it really doesn't suck. That does it for me, and that does it for Child's Play 2. What are your thoughts on Child's Play 2? Or is there a horror sequel you'd like to see me cover in the future? Please leave a comment below. While you're there, give this video a thumbs up, and feel free to subscribe to the channel and stay notified for when I upload more content in the future. For today, I'm Horror Man Mike, and this has been Sequels Don't Suck.